This is a Whale Series video on Ko1 from server 1346. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, join our Discord, and also follow us on Instagram so you always have the support that you need to really enhance your account and get yourself to the next level. Before we get started with this whale series, I hope everyone knows about the skylines.com website. We actually launched some really interesting guides that I think all of you are going to love. I know a lot of people have already seen the PvP and PvE tier lists, and I've noticed that a lot of people have used the calculators. But if you look at this, we have season guides, and that includes the honor guide. You can take a look how to get 40,000 honor as fast as possible. I've tried to make it as neat as possible, and as I mentioned before, it actually does have the charts as well, right? So we found a way to make it fit even on a mobile screen, because I know a lot of you are on the mobile, so you can check it out there. You could also go to the season eggs guide, which goes through how many season eggs you get for free and how much it's going to cost you if you want to get one of those, guaranteed season 5 eggs. And we go through the whole process, and I tried to make it as neat as possible as well. And then there's a season store guide as well on how you should be spending your season fruits to get the best return for your investment. So check out the guides. I have a few more work in progress, and honestly I haven't really put them in yet, but you can see combat speed is sort of being worked on as well. It's sort of figured out, but there's a few things I need to change. But in case you want to take a look, go ahead, you can take a look. It's in a reasonable state already, and as you can tell, over time I'll keep adding more and more guides, and hopefully this becomes the encyclopedia of the ants for you all, and you all enjoy it. Do also follow us on Instagram. I'm trying to keep that as active as I can, and also join us on our Discord so I can communicate with you directly. Back to the video. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video of the Sky channel. So I know everyone was asking for some whale series videos, so I decided to do a few whale series videos for you all. This one is going to be on Ko1 from server 1346. Now when you see somebody from server 1346 with over 115 billion kills, you're probably thinking, wow, this guy probably spends a lot. And he certainly does. But one thing I realized when I was talking to him is that despite being extremely strong for his server range, he's actually a really humble and nice guy. And of course, as part of the intro, since this is the first time I'm featuring him in a whale series video, I wanted to know a little bit more about him and wanted to know what he'd be willing to share with our audience. And he wanted me to share with everyone that he actually has the disease called ALS. Some people may already know about it. It's that nervous system disease that affects the nerve cells in the brain and the spinal cord. It essentially makes you lose your muscle control. And he also wanted me to share this. So this is his introduction. That's actually a photo of himself with his wife. You can see they're smiling. It's a really nice photo. And in his introduction, he's saying he's Fujikawa. He lives in the Johto Yard. He actually got this 7 years ago. So he was about 46 years old at that time. And he's living with his wife and his eldest son while getting his treatment. So that's a little bit about him. A really nice guy. And if you get a chance, drop him a message. I'm going to ask him to join our Discord. So, if you want to just send him a message there, you can connect with him there and have a conversation with him if you prefer. Okay, so going over to his account, let's see what he has in terms of his skins. So you can see the Anthill skin. He has that bigger red star. So it's not the first one, it's the second one. It seems he recently got that. And this is expected because, one of the biggest ways for you to get a lot of experience is through the groundhog skins every 2 weeks. When you're in a server as new as he is in, he probably didn't have too many groundhog days. So a lot of his experience is probably coming from paid skins, and you can see he has a bunch of them already, probably the ones that were available after he started playing, including the most recent one, the owl that was released recently. Then you can see his March troop. He has the green star, so he's still getting the duel Queen's stats, so not yet the stats that you get for all battles. And then if you look at the different skins he has a bunch of paid skins here as well. And I'm assuming he got all of them that were released after he started playing. Next, let's go over to his genetics and start with the cells. You can see that he's already maxed out the star levels of all of his cells. And you can see he's gotten some of the cell evolutions between level 10 to level 15. And the cells that he's been prioritizing seem to be primarily focusing on shooter attack, right? So both of them, the ones that are high level, are shooter attack. So that's probably his priority. He has the ascent all the way to level 3, which is good as well because he's already gotten the combat speed from that. Let's go to the genes, and you can see all of them maxed out as expected. And his gene evolution is actually level 35. So that's a decent boost he's getting. When it comes to the priorities, you can see that the middle one is the highest level in most of the different pages, and that again is shooter and attack. So his priority is shooter and attack for now. When you go to the ascent, same thing here, level 3. Germs, this he hasn't fully maxed out yet. As you can imagine, germs are a little harder to get, right? I feel that too. So you can see the middle one is maxed out, which is the shooter and attack, because that's his priority, and he also managed to evolve it to level 5. The other pages are following a similar pattern, with the highest priority going to shooter and attack. And of course, the last page is not yet maxed out, so he hasn't been able to evolve it, but I'm assuming he's going to get to that soon. When it comes to the ascent, it's at level 2, which is good enough because he's gotten the 50 combat speed from there. Talking about the fungus, you could see level 15, which is maxed out, level 18, level 21, and this one is level 22. This one probably still has the ability of leveling it up to level 23 once he gets enough of these items to do so. The others are already maxed out, and that's why he's able to evolve them as opposed to leveling them up further. When it comes to the priorities, you can see that in the first page he's kept everything similar. In the second page, of course, you can see the priority is going to the skill attack and skill defense, which is a good choice. Same with the third page and same with the fourth page. So skill attack and skill defense is the highest priority there, which makes a lot of sense. Talking about the ascent, again, it is level 3, which is still granting him that combat speed that he definitely wants to prioritize. Let's move over to his mutations, and well, he has actually gotten quite a lot when it comes to the mutations. He's already unlocked the combat speed. In fact, he has the combat speed all the way to level 49. That's pretty interesting, and that's giving him between 32 and 34 combat speed, which is quite impressive. Then he has the skill attack one at level 49, giving him a 17.7% skill attack. If he were to upgrade this to 50, he could actually get the gold skill attack, which just looks super fancy, but then again, not a lot of people are going to go into his account to be seeing that anyway. The attack one is level 45. He has, of course, prioritized the skill defense to 49 and the health one to 49 as well. So that's pretty interesting. It's nice to see his priority was combat speed, especially given that combat speed unlocks last. He's already gotten it to level 49. It shows that once he's unlocked it, he's definitely prioritized it. Let's take a look at his reforms. You can see he's between level 45 to level 48 on his Guardians, and it is 40 star. 40 star is good because he's crossed the combat speed a while back, which is the most important one, and he's also getting some additional buffs. And if you look at the reforms, level 45, he's getting 59.2 health, 172% attack, and 148% defense. Let's take a look at his rare reforms. He's put in the health one, which is level 4. That's why it's also starting to give a little bit of attack. And he's also put the defense one, which again is level 4, so it's starting to give a little bit of health as well. You can see if you get it to 5, it actually starts giving attack as well. So that's how these rare forms work. As you level them up further, you get additional bonuses. And then you can take a look at his shooters. Definitely prioritize. So you can see level 49, 46, 46, giving him about 180% attack, 156% defense, and 62.4% health. And I guess there's no surprise that the shooter and attack is prioritized a little bit more. The reform cooperation is also 43 star. Going over to the rare reforms, you can see he has the attack as well as the skill attack, which is the natural choice for you to use for shooters. Since it's level 4, he's getting a 2.4% health from both of those reforms as well. Moving over to his carriers, the lowest priority in his particular case, level 40 for each of them, so 116% attack, defense, and 46.4% health, and the reform cooperation being 40 star. Going over to the rare reforms, he's put in the attack, defense, and health one here, and the defense one because that's the one that's left. So overall, he's getting a decent amount of base stats for his carriers, which I'm assuming he doesn't really use. Now let's go over to his insects, and you can see 2 level 108 insects, the shooter one and the guardian one, and then there's the carrier one that is at level 80. Going to the shooter one, you can see he's using the fox skin along with the phantom mantis, and he has a ghost mantis as the helper, which is the latest generation helper insect. Now to make it go from 108 to 109, he only needs to sacrifice a 9-star orange insect. And from those of you who watched the Yukron Whale series that I posted a few days ago, you would know that there is that requirement that you have to activate ascent nodes to unlock every additional level. So right now he has 8 ascent nodes, that's why he can get it to 108. To get it to 109, he needs to unlock 9 ascent nodes. Now if you want to go into more details about what the ascent nodes look like, you can check the Yukron Whale series and you can check it there. It's pretty much the same concept, and once you see it, you'll understand. Then going over to the talents, you can see that he did prioritize the right side, so he got all of that maxed out. He did prioritize a few from the bottom, so he got the skill attack and skill defense one, which is smart. And then he actually got some from the left as well. So you can see in the left side, he got this because this is giving him a skill defense. Now when it comes to the stars, this is how he has assigned his stars. And he is at level 29 ascent, giving him a 29% all types of damage. Now let's go to his guardian one, and you can see metallic stag beetle with the ferret skin. Same concept here. It's level 108. To get it to 109, he needs to sacrifice a 9-star orange insect, but that can only be done after he has 9 ascent talent nodes unlocked. Right now he only has 8. So he needs to spend a bunch of those exotic fodder and essentials to get the 9th one, and only after that does he need to just sacrifice a 9-star insect in all of his level 108 insects, and he can make them all 109 because the insect advanced talents apply to all insects altogether. So you don't have a specific one for every single insect, it's one for all. Let's go to his talent tree. Again, he's prioritized the right side and he's maxed out all of it. He's gotten stuff from the bottom tree, the skill attack and skill defense, but in this case, he's also gotten this one, which gives him a little bit of healing as well as defense. This is how he's selected his stars, and his talent ascent is level 18 here. The third insect is his thorny scorpion. He's using the thorny devil, which is interesting, thorny, right? In this particular one, it's level 80, so he's not gotten this one to level 100 yet, so there's no ascent. And if you take a look, he's again prioritized the right side, and he's getting the skill attack from the bottom, and then he's put some of it at the top to get a little bit extra march speed, which is an interesting choice. Carriers have good march speed, so now he's boosting that speed further. So that's his insects. Let's go over to his buddies since we're already there. You can see level 40, level 30, and level 10 are the maximum levels of his insects, and he's gotten an interesting buddy bound because other than the purple one, his other 2 bonuses are 8-star, giving him pretty decent boost in stats. And this is actually quite interesting because this seems to be the case for most pay-to-win players, right? The golden one's already 8-star, the purple ones are not. Remember, Yukron was the same. And then if you take a look, the lime swallowtail, it's his highest level one, and he's gotten it quite decent boost. Right, 12%, 12%, 12%, 4%, 4% is the extra buffs he's getting from this, and he already has the requirements to upgrade this even further, increasing his buffs. You could take a look at the gallery bonus he's getting as well, which is 20.4% attack, defense, and health, and he's getting that by sending any extra items that he has that he doesn't need because his buddies are maxed out, and that qualifies as experience that he can use to upgrade the gallery bonus and get some extra buffs there as well. So now that we're talking about insects and buddies, let's go to his insect skins, and you can see he does have all of them, which are possible, and he's assigned them as well. So he's getting the different bonuses for each of them, as you can see on the screen, right? So once you activate the potential, you start getting these bonuses. And of course, by having insect skins, you get a base bonus as well. So you can see that here as well. And across the different pages, you can see all of them that have released certain insect skins. He's already purchased them, so he already has them assigned as well. It should also be noticed that each of these insect skins actually give an owning buff as well. This is in addition to the insect potential. So for example, the fox is giving a 5% extra health in addition to what we were just looking at earlier. Let's go over to special ants, and you can see it's quite interesting here. A lot of S5 ants, a lot of them are actually 8-star already, so that's interesting to see. I can see the giant jaw, 7-star ascended, and let's see if he's close to getting to 8-star. Well, not yet, but I think it's going to happen soon. You can see blue velvet is already 8-star, but not yet ascended, which might happen soon as well. Indigo velvet, 8-star, not yet ascended. Zero crazy is ascended, 7-star. Then there's golden chaser, which is unascended, 5-star. Rainbow scarlet is ascended, 8-star, and that's probably because he's a shooter man, right? He got a bunch of these carrier ants. Then he has bison ant, sly hunter, 8-star. Then CR, Rainbow Chaser 8-star with maxed out awakening as well, which is pretty cool. Black Velvet 8-star with maxed out awakening. And if you scroll down, let's see what ants he doesn't have, because that might be more interesting to look at. There's a bunch of these S1 ants, which he probably doesn't need. Honeypot ant, which is a carrier ant, which I guess he's not focused on. Iron Elephant, he doesn't need that now that he has Giant Jaw and a few other carriers and guardians, but primarily a lot of these, I don't even know he can get them anymore because they've sort of been removed from the Orange Eggs too, right? So yeah, I don't think he can get some of these ants for now because they simply don't exist or they're not available for him, as they've sort of been scrapped from a bunch of different places. So now let's go to the Awakening Gallery, and you can see level 25, which is giving him a decent 80% attack, defense, and 32% health. And you could see that the activated ones, right? He has level 40 on some of them that he uses often. Bright Ponerine, Rainbow Chaser, Black Knight, and a bunch of others. The more interesting thing is the unactivated ones, which means he's already purchased them, but they're not activated. And you'd be wondering, why doesn't he just activate them? Well, the answer is twofold. Some of the ants he just doesn't have, or I don't know if he even can get them. Like, how do you get a Jack Jumper now that it's been removed from a bunch of different places? The others, well, he has to basically make all skills reach level 10. But as you know, his focus for the spores was to get his combat speed up, right? So there's always a cost benefit, and given that his gameplay has been fairly short, he can't just do everything, right? You got to make some choices, and there's going to be some consequences for those choices. But once he gets to it, he'll be able to get a lot of Awakening Gallery points. The fun thing to watch is that he's already purchased a lot of them, right? There's just a few that he hasn't obtained. Maybe they weren't available, or maybe he just decided to skip them because they were ants that he wasn't prioritizing. Let's go and verify something. I've been saying that they were removed from the Supreme Hatch. You can see these are the ones that are available. I don't think it includes all of them. I don't see any Jack Jumper here, and I don't see any gold armor either, right? So basically what I was saying, right? There's just few sources of getting them. I think you could get them from advanced hatches and stuff, but the probability of getting an orange from advanced hatch is not that high, right? And if you look at the season ants, you can see he's already hatched 1119. Quite interesting, isn't it? So what should we jump to next? How about we jump over to his evolutions? All right, so you could see he's already unlocked the assault soldier ants. He's using the T11 ants, which is pretty cool. And if you look at the excellent enhance, it's at 30%. He's reducing the skill damage his squad stakes, and then he's going to go over to the attack of the back line, which is a pretty nice progression. He's maxed out everything at the top, including secondary every combat. So that's an interesting choice. I think he's trying to max out everything linearly. So that's good. He won't ever have to worry about going back up and seeing if any of those evolutions are valuable or not. And if we go over to his treasures, let's take a quick look at that. Maxed out the first one, giving him a pretty decent bonus, right? 50% health for that. The second one is level 15, and some of them have been leveled up to 16. The third one is between 13 and 15. So he's gotten a bunch of different stats. Let's take a look at his overall stats from the treasures. So the attacks are close to 215% for the two that he really cares about. Defense between 206 to 214.6, and health is close to 146%. And then if you take a look at his skill defense, he's getting about 5.8, and skill damage reduction 4.5, crit resistance 15%. So a nice buff coming from the treasures. Next up, the evolution Meteorite. He has all of the paid ants, so he's gotten these boosts here. The pioneer evolution is yellow, so he's gotten a bunch of them to level 30 already, so he's not that far to getting this to red. Ascent is already at level 4, so he's already gotten the 60 combat speed, and now he's getting some skill attack, skill defense, and health. Overall buffs looking pretty good, around close to 200% attack and defense, and close to 80% health. Explorer evolution, you could see level 21 to level 25 for this, and it is the purple evolution. When it comes to the ascent, he already has the combat speed, and he's getting some skill attack and skill defense as well. So level 3 is a pretty sweet spot to be in. So the explorer evolution is giving him about 118 to 130 attack, similar defense, and health is close to 50%. Trailblazer evolution is still yellow. It's a little further from red than the pioneer one, but he's at about level 26. The ascent is again level 3, which is pretty much the same as the previous one. And then if you look at the attack, defense, and health, he's getting about 160% attack and defense, about 64% health. Conqueror evolution is blue, but I think he's getting pretty close to making it purple because he's about to get to level 20. The ascent is level 3 for this as well, and he's getting a pretty decent boost of about 105% attack, defense, and 42% health. So that is his evolution Meteorite. Let's go to his shooter ant nest and take a look at what he has. You can see he has the assault soldier ants. That's pretty much what I wanted to show here, and he does seem to have them for carriers and guardians as well, so that's pretty cool. Ornaments, he has them at 6 star, which is great, and you can see that at 7 star he's going to get some garrison health. So it's not those stats that are valid everywhere, but he's getting close to it. And how about his classes? Well, he is at Cultivator 104, Raider 124, and Herder 45. I'm definitely going to recommend that he switch to Raider and stay there, because he definitely wants to get this skill attack plus 10% given his focus on shooters. So I will let him know that that's probably a good priority to focus on, especially for somebody so focused on PvP like himself. And since the Pangolin event is going on, let's take a look at what he got in 2 days. He's looking at 318 million score, which seems to be a pretty big jump compared to number 2, so that's what you would expect from somebody who has such powerful units. So I think we've covered pretty much most things. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats. So what I'm going to do is, let me take a look at his formations. We're going to use his shooter for this. So let's claim this and let's go in here. Get somebody with a high number of mine crystals like this one, and let's do a plunder so we can take a look at his stats, right? So there you go. Jump over to this stats directly, and we are looking at 3,270% attack, 2,946% defense, 1,231% health, about 260 and 240 skill attack and skill defense respectively. Combat speed is actually pretty nice, 1,127, and that's of course for the front row only, because you can only assign that combat speed buff to one row. If you go over to the others, they're 1,095. The other stats are fairly similar across the different rows, with the back row having the highest attack, actually 3,362. Let's actually take a look at his guardian stats as well. So let's look for another one that has a very high amount of stats, so we can take a look at his guardians as well. This one's not too bad. Let's go ahead and plunder it using the Guardian squad, and let's go over to the stats for this one. So close to 3000% attack, 3000% defense, 1360% health, and about 237% skill attack and about 247% skill defense. So the stats are pretty good in both the units. And that's all I have for this video. And of course, if you have any recommendations for the website or for other Whale series videos or other videos altogether, let me know. Drop them in the comments below or join a Discord and let me know there as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.